Alright, so sometimes it's the details that matter. I just want to show Trader Joe's, this is your knife. Thank you for being so patient, just like everybody else's blades who have ever been in the shop. Usually it takes a little bit longer than somebody who can do this full time. I just do it for fun, part time. Anyways, this one's for Joe. I want to show you guys what it looks like rough, and just to show Joe, on the inside of your spacer here, it did have, this is a bone collector. So it did have this raised up area there, this back spacer here. Joe wanted it nice and flush and up farther. So anyways, I punched out, this is the detail stuff that matters, punched out the hardware that was in there and put it inside this spacer here. That's going to be nice and smooth. And that way it's anchored down just as it would be from factory. And of course all this is going to be smoothed out a little better. So here's what it's looking like right now. Everything's pinned together like the knife is going together, but without the blade. You can see now is when you shape it up to the liners. You see the back spacer is real high and everything. All my screw holes are matching up. I just put my Sharpie on there just to get a rough guide about where stuff's going to go, but I in no way use this Sharpie as a way to drill holes or anything. So, and this is not a tutorial, I just kind of want to show you what's involved. I was just testing to see if that was the right hole for the lanyard tube and stuff. Anyways, let's hit this on the 60 grit belt. Another quick tip too, I do have a watch on, that's not going to get in the way, but I highly suggest you don't use any gloves or any kind of rings or bracelets or anything. I guess I should probably take my watch off around this. If you got caught in here and got pinched, that'd be a bad day, especially with this 60 grit here. Alright, let me turn it back on, we'll get to grinding away here. Okay, so you can see how I get it close. That's roughing the shape out. You see how it's close to everything. So now just shaping it up some more. Alright, so I've got this really close. Roughed in now. Bumped the liner once there, not a big deal. Bumped the liner once there, but the point is, you want to get as close as you can without bumping the liner. That way you can finish up hand sanding. Hand sanding evens everything out so you don't have little Dremel imperfections in here and stuff like that. And you don't want to mess up the steel liner underneath. So, anyways, you can see how close that is. This is not meant as a tutorial, just maybe a behind the scenes of what goes in. Gonna straighten out this back spacer and stuff here. But hopefully, Joe, you can see your back spacer is going to extend up as far as possible now. So when you squeeze it like that, your your webbing here won't get caught in the center here. So let me shape a little bit of this by hand with some 100 grit paper. On my workbench I've clamped a 2x4 here, so it's a nice straight area to work on. It's also a really nice way to sharpen knives too. Fresh sandpaper. You'll get a lot more work done if you pretend that sandpaper is free. Don't worry about how much sandpaper costs. It's cheap. Wears out pretty fast, except for wet dry paper. Seems to last a long time, but don't get caught up in you know, just figure a few sheets of sandpaper, material costs. It's a good tip. I was in auto body for a few years. And always keep the sandpaper fresh. Cuts nice. You can see everything's flushed all the way around. So now it is time to, I believe I'm going to give these the concealed carry treatment. We'll thin them out a whole lot and make it carryable. But anyways, if you're going to try this on your own, I encourage you. It's pretty fun. A lot of work, but fun. Anyways, shape your scales on your liners because you'll make the fit so much better. You see there's no gaps, anything in there. And then I'll take these screws out and then I'll round them out and shape them. If you want to put the Anzo pattern or anything on there, take these screws out and then do your pattern on it. But that way you know that they fit up exactly perfect, possibly better than factory. So, just a quick little tip. So, your average Dremel warrior might have a little bit of difficulty with the milling and then trying to line this stuff up. If you're going to try this, maybe just try a simpler knife than an axis lock, because you're going to need clearance for all the axes and stuff like that. All the axis lock in there. And it doesn't have to be perfect. All you're doing is creating enough room for that spring to pull back. So, anyways, these holes are roughed out. But what I want to do is show you how I start the concealed carry. Now I can't go too deep because I'll blow right through my little mill there. But you see I've got enough to knock the corners down on here. So, anyways, what's good is I know these fit. I know the knife would go together right now. So now it's just shaping everything up, widening these out a little bit. I always drill a little bit small, and then that way I can hand file the stuff bigger and make sure everything fits just right. And Joe wanted the top horns here knocked down, so those are going to be knocked down as well. And I should have it flush with the blade going right up. So, anyways, let me throw a few of the bevels on here, and then I got a hand around the rest. So I'm not going to bore you, but you can see how machine makes it a little bit easier, but there's still a lot of hand shaping. I don't want to go any more than this. I just wanted to knock the edge down, and now I have enough to actual hand sand. And when I'm hand sanding, things happen very quickly on this 100 grit belt here. and this is just really roughing it down. And then I will move to hand sandpaper, probably about a 80 grit hand, and then I'll move up to about 150, maybe 200, 250. So I'm going to do the other one and then hand shape the rest of it.